Cesar Millan, a famous dog trainer known as the Whisperer of Beasts, was hit with a terrible surprise that no one could have seen coming. From the heights of fame, he fell into depression, bankruptcy, legal scandals, and even thoughts of ending it all. An empire built on sweat, tears, and unwavering steps was on the verge of falling apart. But even more amazing is that he gave up, and Millan rose again, stronger and wiser. But at what cost did this rebirth come? The shocking truth behind the "you'll be speechless when you hear what happens" in scenes from The Dog Whisperer. Before Cesar Millan became famous for training dogs and millions of people admired and debated his methods, his life was confined to a small town in Mexico called Culiacan in the state of Sinaloa. As a child, Cesar Millan had only a dream and a deep love for dogs. He grew up on his grandfather's farm where dogs weren't just pets but loved family members. As a child, Cesar had a special connection with the dogs around him. He didn't have to yell or command them. With just a look, a gesture, and quiet confidence, they would do what he said. Little did he know that this natural talent would one day change his whole life. But Sinaloa wasn't a place to grow big dreams. It was a harsh place where the future often felt stuck in rigid limits. He knew that he had to leave at 21 with a heart full of hope. Cesar Millan made the brave decision to leave his home country for the promised land, America. The journey wasn't easy. He came to the U.S. illegally, broke, couldn't speak English, and didn't have any family or friends. He came with nothing but a strong belief that if given the chance, he could do great things. His early days in America were filled with hardship. He scraped by washing cars, delivering newspapers, and cleaning houses. But one thing stayed the same: his devotion to Naya. During his worst times, Cesar still watched the dogs, understood them, and most importantly, believed he could do something greater. Then, he got a job at a pet grooming shop and started to show off his skills. The most dangerous dogs, ones that no one dared approach, became calm around him. The shop owner noticed and gave him the hardest cases. Cesar slowly became famous in the world of pet care, but he wasn't satisfied. He wanted to do even more. With that goal in mind, he started the Pacific Point Canine Academy with the little money he had saved. He made a small space in South California into a sanctuary to train and rehabilitate dogs that were thought to be beyond saving. As word spread about the man who could talk to dogs, more people, from regular pet owners to famous people, wanted to meet him. One of them was Jada Pinkett Smith, the famous actress and wife of Will Smith, who was a passionate animal lover. As a dog lover, she heard of Cesar Millan and immediately fell in love with the way he worked with dogs. She became not only his client, but also his fiercest advocate, connecting him with important people in Hollywood and starting a whole new path. With this support, Cesar expanded his reach and opened the Dog Psychology Center in Los Angeles, a place where dogs with behavior problems could get help and a second chance. This was the biggest turning point in his life. In 2004, National Geographic asked Cesar to be the star of a reality TV show about training dogs. At first, a show about training dogs seemed strange, but when it first aired, Dog Whisperer became a worldwide hit. Millions of people were amazed at how Cesar could tame the most stubborn dogs with just body language and unwavering confidence. He didn't use force or yelling, but instead encouraged a natural bond between human and dog. The show didn't just help dogs, it changed the way people thought about pets in general. Cesar Millan wasn't just a trainer, he was an inspiration and a symbol of the bond between people and animals. He taught the world that dogs don't follow instability, they follow calm, assertive energy. In just a few years, Cesar went from being an unknown immigrant to one of the most famous names in dog training. He appeared on countless TV shows, wrote best-selling books, and spoke to audiences around the world. But with fame came controversy. Some experts said his methods were based on old ideas, and animal rights groups accused him of Cesar Millan changed the way people think about dogs. His story, from being a poor boy in Mexico to a TV star, shows that if you believe in yourself and don't give up, you can change the world. But that was just the start of the drama that was to come. Cesar Millan's fame took off like a kite in the wind, but with it came a storm of controversy that surrounded him. He had millions of fans around the world who thought he could connect with dogs in a mysterious way. Though many dog training experts and animal welfare groups strongly disagreed with Cesar Millan's methods, he built his whole dog training philosophy on the theory of dominance, which says that dogs work in a hierarchical system where the pack leader controls the group. In his view, humans must become the alpha, the supreme leader that dogs respect and obey. To do this, he used techniques he described as calm, assertive energy paired with behavior therapy. Animal researchers have said that Cesar's dominance theory is out of date and doesn't explain how dogs really work in the wild. For example, they say that dogs don't follow the strict pack structure seen in wild wolves, so using too many controlling methods might make them fearful instead of respectful. Cesar caused a lot of controversy in 2012 when he went on the famous British talk show, The Alan Titchmarsh Show, which seemed like a great chance to share his ideas. Cesar's training philosophy became one of the most controversial parts of his career when Alan Titchmarsh, the show's host, confronted Cesar directly and said Cesar's methods were harsh and pointless. A clip shown on the show showed Cesar using the alpha roll technique, in which the trainer flips a dog onto its back and holds it down to show authority for supporters. Critics saw this as a way to show leadership, even though it caused the animal distress and fear. Titchmarsh didn't hold Cesar accountable for this act. He asked Cesar again, "Do you really think this method is necessary? Are you aware that many animal behavior experts are against your approach?" Cesar always kept his cool. He answered by saying that every technique he used was meant to restore balance in dogs, and that he never meant to hurt any animal. But for people who were already skeptical of his methods, his answer didn't convince them. After the interview, the controversy didn't go away. It got even worse. The Royal Society for the ASPCA, one of the world's leading animal welfare groups, spoke out against Cesar Millan's training methods in a public statement. They said that his use of coercive techniques could hurt dogs' mental and physical health, and that forcing and punishing isn't the way to build a healthy relationship between people and animals. An ASPCA spokesperson said that dominance-based methods are not only out of date, but can actually make a dog's behavior worse instead of better. It caused a heated debate on forums, social media, and professional journals. Cesar's supporters said that he had helped thousands of dogs regain their balance and that only people who really knew him could fairly judge his work. His detractors, on the other hand, said that results couldn't justify methods, especially since evidence showed that some dogs suffered from his strict training methods. Several animal behavior experts also weighed in, saying that humans shouldn't rely on dominance but should instead focus on positive training, methods that reward and reinforce good behavior instead of imposing authority over the animal. In fact, a study from the University of Bristol found that dogs trained with coercive methods were more likely to develop anxiety and aggression than dogs trained positively. But Cesar Millan stuck to his beliefs, going on TV to host workshops and start online training programs. To him, the backlash was just part of being in the spotlight. "I don't expect everyone to agree with him, disagree with me, but I think the dogs understand me, and that's what matters most," Cesar Millan said in an interview. The controversies didn't make him less popular. Instead, they made him more famous and made him the center of every conversation about dog training. But were his methods really effective, or were he just good at making an image? The story doesn't end here. Cesar Millan has more problems and challenges ahead. As the dog whisperer's fame grew, he faced pressure from animal rights groups and a series of long-running lawsuits that went on for years. The first lawsuit was filed by Floyd Suarez in 2006, when Millan was at the height of his career with his reality TV show. He said that his dog almost died after being forced to run on a treadmill at Millan's dog psychology center. Suarez, the dog, choked and had to be taken to the hospital right away. After the session, this accusation shocked everyone. Millan had long been praised for his natural ability to train dogs and help unruly animals find balance, but this lawsuit painted a very different picture. It showed him as a tough trainer whose methods could put an animal's life in danger. Millan quickly denied the claims. His lawyers said that all training exercises were safe and that no animals were harmed in any way. In the years that followed, Millan continued to grow his dog training business, but his legal problems wouldn't go away. In 2015, a nurse from Florida sued Millan after being attacked by a dog that had been trained at Millan's center. According to the victim, the dog suddenly became aggressive and bit her uncontrollably, hurting her badly. The attack raised important questions about whether Millan could really tame aggressive dogs. Why did one of the dogs he trained attack? His methods only worked temporarily because animals went back to their wild instincts once he wasn't around. This time, the backlash against Cesar Millan grew. Some animal rights activists wanted an investigation into the training methods at his dog psychology center, saying that he wasn't just using old methods, but could be putting both dogs and people in danger. But the biggest storm in his career was still to come. In 2021, Leah Mattis, a promising young actress, sued him. Matisse, a gymnast, said that while she was at one of Millan's training facilities in 2017, she was attacked by Junior, one of Millan's own dogs. The injuries were so bad that they ended her gymnastics career. But the lawsuit didn't end there. Matisse also said that Millan's dog had killed the pet dog of singer Queen Latifah. She said that Millan tried to hide the fact that the dog had died in an accident, and the news spread like wildfire. Leaving the public was shocked, and if the claims were true, they could hurt Millan's reputation and lead to serious legal problems. In response, Millan denied all the accusations. His lawyers said Junior was a trained dog and there was no clear evidence he had attacked Lydia Mattis or killed Queen Latifah's pet. They also said Millan had not been hiding anything. Even so, this lawsuit put Millan in the most dangerous situation of his career, and fans who used to admire him started to wonder if he was really the dog whisperer they thought he was. Millan's public image got even worse, and brands that used to work with him started pulling away. TV shows that had invited him as a guest started thinking twice about it. But despite the attacks, Cesar Millan wouldn't give up. He kept up his training work, made more TV appearances, and firmly stood by the philosophy he'd been following for years. Behind the scenes, Millan was a talented dog trainer, a TV star with a radiant smile and an unwavering calm. As Millan's career peaked with Dog Whisperer, his personal life went through a period of deep turmoil that tested his patience, faith, and determination to keep going. 2010 was a dark year for Millan. His wife of 16 years, Wilson Millan, filed for divorce. Their marriage had once been a public ideal. She wasn't just a spouse, but an important partner in Cesar's career. She helped him start his company, grow the Cesar Millan brand, and change him from a poor newcomer to a famous TV personality around the world. Underneath the happy exterior, their relationship had been falling apart for a long time. Busy work schedules, pressure from the media, financial problems, and different business strategies caused them to split up. When Illusion left, Millan lost more than just a partner. He also had to fight a long legal battle over assets and rights. The divorce left him completely broken, but it was even worse than losing his wife. Around the same time, Millan lost another beloved companion, Daddy, his loyal pit bull who had been by his side. For Millan, Daddy was more than just a dog. He was the heart of his career. This companion wasn't just a friend. He was a living example of how even dangerous dogs could become calm and loyal with the right training. When Daddy died, Millan fell into a deep depression. He felt like his world was falling apart without his family or his trusted friend. In his darkest moments, Millan thought about giving up everything. He later admitted in an interview that he once did just that. Millan had lost all hope, but in his despair, a miracle appeared. Gira Darjahira came into his life in August 2010 when he was at his lowest. She was a fashion and lifestyle expert with no ties to the dog world, but her warmth, patience, and understanding slowly pulled him out of the abyss. Jahira wasn't just a partner, she was a companion who helped him rediscover himself and restore his faith in life and work. I'm very thankful to her because she helped me rebuild my life and family after my divorce and the death of my father. She is kind, gentle, spiritually intelligent, fun, strong, adventurous, and loving. She embodies the values I value most: honesty, integrity, and loyalty. With Jahira's support, Millan started to rise again. He went back to training, worked on personal projects, and focused on helping dogs in need. In 2016, he proposed to Jahira, saying that she was the woman who'd restored his life. Cesar Millan's story isn't just about a great dog trainer. It's also about a man who was close to giving up, but found a way to keep going. Despite controversies, lawsuits, criticism, and painful losses, Millan stayed strong. Maybe the dogs he trained taught him that no matter how many times life knocks you down, the key is to get back up and move on. After years of upheaval, Cesar Millan didn't just get out of despair. He started a new life, new phase in his career and life. He stopped being the dog whisperer whose methods divided people and became an inspiration to people who want to find new ways to help dogs and their owners. In 2013, Millan debuted as leader of the pack on Nat Geo Wild, with bigger goals than ever before. The show's main goal was to find new homes for abandoned or at-risk dogs. Millan went to rescue centers all over Europe to work with dogs who were having problems. He didn't just train them, he matched them with owners who could give them the love and care they needed. Deserved the show wasn't just about training dogs. It taught viewers about the responsibilities of pet adoption and stressed that a dog isn't just a pet, it's a family member, and adopting one shouldn't be based on a whim. Building on the success of Leader of the Pack, Millan launched Cesar 911 on Nat Geo Wild in 2014. While the previous show helped dogs find homes, this one helped owners deal with their dog's behavior. Millan went to people's homes and neighborhoods to deal with dogs that were exhibiting serious problems, like attacking people. Yet the show's brilliance lay not only in training dogs, but also in training their owners. Millan believed that most behavior problems weren't caused by bad or stubborn dogs, but by how the owner raised them and their energy. He often said, "You can't change a dog's behavior without changing your own." Cesar 911 became one of Nat Geo Wild's biggest hits. It helped millions of pet owners deal with problems they were having and helped Millan rebuild his reputation after past lawsuits and criticism. Cesar Millan Live, a global series of live speaking events where he didn't just talk about dog training but also life lessons from his career and personal journey, such as how to build trust between people and animals, the importance of patience, calmness, and understanding, and how to deal with life's challenges in a way similar to how a dog adjusts to a new environment. He drew thousands of people, and he stopped being just a trainer and started becoming a motivational speaker, showing that training a dog often starts with you. Cesar Millan came back from the brink of collapse after losing a loyal companion, getting divorced, and going through lawsuits and disputes. He didn't just rebuild his career, he found a deeper mission: to help abandoned dogs, teach their owners, and inspire millions of people around the world. This new chapter wasn't just about training dogs, it was about healing people and helping them have better, more loving relationships with their four-legged friends. After cementing his TV legacy, Cesar Millan embraced the digital age. He used YouTube and social media to reach more people than ever before. This wasn't just a smart move, it let him connect directly with dog lovers around the world. Unrestricted by traditional TV, Millan launched an official YouTube channel to share training tips, answer viewer questions, and capture real moments with his pack. Unlike polished, scripted TV shows, YouTube offered raw authenticity. Viewers saw Cesar in everyday life, not just as a master trainer, but a man who loved his dogs like family. He showed real-life situations like how to deal with dangerous, anxious, or fearful dogs, as well as simple tips that anyone could use. He also let viewers ask questions and get answers from Millan's team, as well as take part in training challenges. His channel quickly gained millions of views and subscribers, becoming an important resource for learning about canine psychology and proper care beyond YouTube. Millan used Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter to share content, keep fans up to date, and connect with Instagram and Facebook behind the scenes. Many different types of content like photos, inspiring dog rescue stories, and short behavior tips, TikTok videos that are fun and teach quick training tricks, and sharing thoughts, answering community questions, and joining larger discussions about animal welfare. This variety of content not only kept his fame, but it also helped him grow digitally, attracting younger people who like social media over TV. With the rise of the internet, Millan realized he could teach dog training to anyone without having to travel or pay for licensed TV shows. People used to have to buy expensive books or DVD. Anyone could watch free tutorials from Millan himself, learn techniques from the most basic to the most advanced, and ask questions right away. This didn't just boost his brand, it delivered real value, helping millions of people become better pet owners. Moving from TV to digital didn't just boost Millan's reputation, it kept him relevant, keeping his status as a top dog training expert. He wasn't waiting for networks to approve his content, he made and posted it himself, which gave him a wider audience. Geographic or language barriers, global audiences were able to connect with him more closely, going from a distant TV star to an online friend for dog lovers, from a TV trainer. Cesar Millan Red now uses YouTube and social media as powerful tools to reach more people, connect with a wider community, and continue his 21st century mission. As technology changes, the future is uncertain, but one thing is clear. On TV, YouTube, and any platform, Cesar Millan remains the dog whisperer, listening to and understanding our four-legged friends. Cesar Millan had a huge impact on dog training. From being a poor Mexican immigrant to becoming a famous name in the field, he changed how people think about and interact with dogs. His legacy isn't just success, it's also the costly lessons in perseverance, innovation, and adaptation that he learned from the controversies. Before Millan's rise, most people thought of dog training as an expert's job or a simple game of reward and punishment. Introduced a psychology and energy-based approach that focused on empathy between humans and dogs. Dogs respond not only to commands but also to human emotions and energy. An anxious owner makes a dog nervous, while a confident owner earns an obedience relationship over commands. Millan went beyond orders and treats to understand canine psychology and mutual respect. He showed that aggressive dogs that were once thought to be hopeless could change with the right approach. The ASPCA condemned his dominant behavior, saying it caused unnecessary stress. Some behavioral scientists criticize his old methods, such as forcing submission or using tight leashes. Lawsuits involving his trained dogs raised safety concerns. However, Millan changed over time instead of sticking to his beliefs. He learned that success doesn't mean perfection, and that growth comes from listening. From TV to social media, he left a lasting legacy. Millan did more than just change training. He also changed pop culture. The Dog Whisperer became a global brand that changed how millions of people raise their pets. Shows like Cesar 911 and Leader of the Pack spread training knowledge all over the world. His move to YouTube and social media kept his message alive for new generations, even though he appeared on TV less often. His influence on dog owners lives on today, and Millan is more than just a trainer. He's a speaker, educator, and cultural icon. And his books on canine psychology and care make knowledge available to everyone. Not shows or fame, but a community better able to understand and treat dogs right. Cesar Millan's story shows how to persevere, come up with new ideas, and love animals from nothing. He faced criticism and hardships, but stayed true to his mission of bringing people and dogs together. His mark is not just in his successes, but also in his ability to adapt and learn from his mistakes. He took on new ventures from TV to YouTube and from harsher methods to kinder ones, whether they were controversial. From a poor refugee to a training legend, Cesar Millan's story shows how to be strong, start over, and love animals. Whether you love him or hate him, the Dog Whisperer's legacy will last for years to come. Music for music,